he was just a super neat freak. And yeah, so I wasn't the cleanest person, but you know, because he was, as I started to get older and I started to realize the effect that, you know, cleaning actually does to like your psyche and your, when you're home, you want to be comfortable as possible. And so I started to realize like, yeah, okay, I get what he's talking about. I understand why. Because you come home after a long day of work and your house is all crazy, you be like,
yeah.
That's what it is, like the balloon, all the air just gets deflated out of the balloon. So, yeah, acts of service was something that meant a lot to me, I guess. I didn't know until reading this book myself. It was like, yo, oh shoot, that sounds like me. And then like, you know, out of the 5 love languages like Lynette was talking about, you know, acts of service was probably like number 5 on her list. So it was like, alright, shoot. It's a struggle when you're understanding your partner's love language and you want to fill their love tank, but it's like definitely not your thing. Like we talked about before, you know, words of affirmation. If your partner's love language is words of affirmation, and they want to hear you tell them you love them and say sweet nothings and all of those things to them, but they grew up in that house where no words were ever spoken like that. It's like, yo, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how. So with acts of service, it's like just simple things. I mean, it's not major, and it just always doesn't have to do with cleaning either. You know, it's different ways to show acts of service. So, you know, that when you're thinking about acts of service and, you know, what it can do for a relationship, you know, what like comes to your mind?
What acts of service can do for a relationship?
Yeah.
It can do a lot. Because like I said, you know, a minute ago, it's not only for the relationship. You know, it can make your whole mental a lot better. You know, like you said, you want to come home to a peaceful house. You know, so acts of service can be, like you said, anything from cleaning to, hey, I did this for you. I paid to.
You just went straight hood for like a whole second.
But just because of that noise.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's the hood chick noise.
You know, so anyway, so it could be something like, you know, I noticed that your car was not clean and I went to go get your car cleaned today. You know, when you woke up, I told you that I took your car to the car wash or whatever. So it can be anything. Acts of service is a lot of things, and I think one of the things that was pointed out in the book too is that you have to erase the lines of like gender roles. So sometimes people think things like, okay, the man is responsible for getting the car fixed or the car cleaned or maintenance like that, and the woman is responsible for keeping the house clean and different things like that. But acts of service, sometimes those lines have to be erased. You know, so just like I just gave you the example, you may be a very busy person, which you are. You know, we both are. But I know that your car, you know, when we have separate cars, I know your car may need, your oil light is on. You need your oil change. You know, but I know you're so busy, so you're just going from place to place and you can't get it done. So I just get up and I go get it done for you, even though that's not the car that I drive. You know, that's the act of service, and it's something that will make you feel good. You know, and that you know, if that was your love language, that would fill your love tank. So,
and that also goes with paying attention. Like, we're talking about the 5 love languages and keeping a love tank full, but in a relationship, in a marriage, communication is the number one thing. So, you know, communication is a give and take. You know, it's not just talking, it's also listening. And it's not just listening, it's literally paying attention, because, I mean, you know, when you're talking to somebody, like, I hear you, but you know they're really not listening. Like, they hear you talking, but you know they're really not listening. So, you have to really put forth that effort to listen. And, now here's the main thing right here, yo. Here's the main thing. Okay, so, y'all know that, your partner's love language is acts of service. Don't just be running around just doing stuff just to shut them up. You can't do that.
And not with that attitude like, all right, I did it. You happy now? It's done, okay? You're not going to get the result that you think that you might get.
Yeah, definitely not. So, whatever the act is, whatever the love language is, don't do it in a way of manipulation to try to get them on your side, get them in a happy place, or, just to shut them up type thing. Like, all right, I spent time with you. All right, we good? But no, you have to really give it your all. And, when you're dealing with these love languages, you have to really focus on giving them all you had. And we talked about it with quality time. I mean, if you're giving someone quality time, you need to give them 100%. So that means, sometimes that phone got to go. I know we done got into this new age, this new culture where phones are like, oh my God, my phone vibrated. I got to check it. Like, I hear it. My phone, it flashed. And we have this mentality where everything just has to happen right now. We done lost track with the old school. And, the youngins don't know nothing about it. But, I mean, the 80s babies, the 30 and up crowd, we know what it was like before phones. It was like, okay, you needed me, you left a message on my voicemail, I'll call you when I get home. I mean, that was just as plain and simple as it was. It's an emergency. Okay, I get in the house, I check my voicemail. Oh, shoot, it's an emergency. Let me make a phone call. Now it's like, yo, did you see what happened on Gossip Girl? I know I took it back like 20 years, yo. I don't know what that just happened.
Yeah, Gossip Girl.
I never watched that show.
Right.
But it just came into my head.
Right.
Why are you looking at me like this? I really never watched that show.
But one thing, too, that I wanted to say about acts of service, don't get overwhelmed with trying to do everything yourself. I know I'm not all enthusiastic about cleaning nobody's house. So, try to get the kids involved. Because acts of service isn't just you doing something. It's also you setting stuff up. So, if you hire a cleaning service to come in and get it done, you get the kids involved, you set up a chore chart, whatever the case is, get them involved. Or you and the kids go outside and clean daddy's car, or whatever the service is that you're trying to do, get the whole family involved. Or if you just don't want to do it at all, hire somebody if you got it. Exactly. Like
yo, hire some. That's dope, yo. Cause like, you know what? Sometimes you're just like, yo, I really don't feel like cleaning. Depending on your life, your lifestyle, your schedule, sometimes it's like, I really don't feel like cleaning. And if you got a few extra dollars and you can get the job done without having to do it, see, I'm all for, outsourcing because, I'm an entrepreneur and, I do a lot. So I don't got time to do everything that needs to be done. Listen, I don't have time to do it. So can you do that for me? Yeah, it's a fee. Okay. You do it. And it's no big deal. Life goes on. The job gets done. And you just keep moving forward. And, your spouse, your partner, they will be like, yo, even though you didn't do it, it shows that you were thinking about it.
Yeah.
It shows that you were thinking about them and the things that they've been saying and actually listening. So it's so many different ways to look at it. And it's a story in this chapter about, a couple of Mr. Chapman's clients that he talked about in this chapter. And, some things that they were facing in their marriage. We're not going to get all into that. You need to get the book because, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. But, I mean, that's the way it is with many great books anyway. It's a lot of different stories inside of each chapter to, really give you a better perception and perspective on what is exactly being talked about. So, I mean, with acts of service, you can't boss people around. You can't try to force people. And, the same with acts of service, I would say the same is with love. It's a choice. You could choose to do it or you could choose not to. Mm-hmm. You could choose to love someone, you could choose not to. I mean, everybody thinks that they don't really have a choice because they're running around with this perception that love is a feeling. But as you can see in this book, it's not a feeling, it's not an emotion, it's all about action. Love is action. So words of affirmation is an action of speaking things. Yeah. It's not a feeling. Quality time is an action of doing something. So get that mentality that love is a feeling, that it's an emotion, because it's really not. Love is all about action. So
love is a verb.
That's right. It's an action word.
Action word. We just talked about that in Sunday school yesterday.
Yeah. Sunday school. First Lady, Sister Sherelle. Yeah, listen. When she teaches, you just feel different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You just different after she teaches, because she teaches with so much authority and enthusiasm, and she just loves the word. Mm-hmm. And after she teaches, you just love the word too. Yeah. And I mean, that's something they talk about in the Bible with Jesus. When he taught, it was like the Pharisees, the haters, the ones that's following them, just looking at every single thing he do, waiting for something to complain about. They all looked at him like, yo, you teach with so much authority. It's like, everything that you're talking about. And that was because he did know everything that he was talking about. And it's not that, he just woke up one morning and it was Jesus and was like, I know everything. Mm-hmm. But if you really pay attention to the word, he was a studier. He studied hard. He studied long. What is it, from 13 to 30? He had no life in between 13 to 30. He was studying the word. Yeah. And he knew the word. And whenever he did anything, either before or after he did anything, he had long prayer sessions. Mm-hmm. Long prayer sessions. So, in your relationship, if it's something that you're struggling with, if it's your partner's love language and it's not your love language, listen, go to God. Take it to God. Go to God in prayer. And just have a session. Like, Lord, listen, I know this is what they need. I know this is what they want. So, what exactly is it that I can do? Right. Help me. Give me the strength. Give me the understanding. Give me the knowledge. Whatever it is that you need to ask God for, go to God in prayer and just go hard. Mm-hmm. Go hard. Pray without ceasing.
He'll definitely give you the answers you need.
Yep. And He'll give you the strength too. I mean, sometimes you don't even need the answer. Sometimes you need a little nudge. You need a little push. And you know what? Because God speaks to us in so many different ways. All the time He's not going to be saying, you got it, go for it, you can do it. He's not going to do that all the time. But, He may just put somebody in your life that you just wasn't expecting, that knows a little bit too much about what's going on in your life. And for a fact, you ain't say nothing to them ever about it. Mm-hmm. And they like, yo, you should go and do. Hold up, what? Yeah, don't sit in there all confused and baffled like we do. Understand that it was God, and just pay attention. Listen, be obedient. Be obedient. So God will place so many different people in your life, so many different situations He will put you in, so He can give you the big picture, so you can see what He's talking about, because He doesn't speak to us the same way. So that is acts of service. And Lynette, she done pulled the cat out the bag and told y'all that's my love language. Ain't nobody told her to do that.
That's all right.
She did it anyway. So we're gonna move on to number 5.
Number 5.
Physical touch. Woo! Yo, listen. We was on one accord just now, a little bit. Yo, listen, at camp, right? Last Sunday morning at camp, after we have breakfast, we have a service. We have a Sunday service at camp. Mm-hmm. And, Lynette and I, we lead praise and worship. Yo, we was really saying it. We was really going there Sunday, yo. We was going there. I was sitting there listening to us, and I'm like, yo, we might as well record a shower album, yo.